All right, so last news story for the week here before we get into the main one, of course. Apex Legends has revealed their latest and newest legend. This was exactly who all of the Apex fans were expecting, but it was cool nonetheless to see. So our latest hero is champion, whatever the fuck. I always it's a
Legend
hero, champion. They're called Apex champions, Dylan. Don't say heroes. It's because you played League of Legends. Shut up. So the latest champion is Loba.
League of Legends is champion.
Whatever.
So don't use that as an excuse.
Shut up.
Heroes is Overwatch, right?
Yeah, Overwatch, whatever. We're talking about Apex. We're talking about a good game here, Apex Legends.
Are we though?
Yeah, we are. It's a great game. Best game ever. So Apex Legends, they've introduced a brand new hero, Loba, right? Introduced via a animated, not their full on one like they released for Bloodhound last month. This is one of the stories from the Outlands videos, which they've done a couple of now, but they're not as full on as the like the Bloodhound one.
They're more 2D animated, a bit more lower.
Not saying they're bad, but they're different to the Bloodhound.
They're a bit more stylized.
It's like in the game that it's kind of copying, Overwatch. They have animated shorts and story shorts.
Because Overwatch was the first game to do animated cinematic.
But they did it well because there's some Overwatch's animated shorts are some Pixar level shit. Everyone, so as I think I said recently, watch them. They're great.
Oh, watch the one for Loba, which is what we're talking about now. But because I know those like the Bloodhound one and all that, the 15-20 minute ones, they've said before those take them like 6 months to a year, or like they take a very long time for them to produce. So whereas these ones I think shorter turnaround potentially. Anyway, so the character Loba is this little girl. This is where everyone knew she was coming from, because she showed up in the Revenant reveal. The last character we got into the game last season was Revenant, who at the end of his introduction video, he murders this family, this mother and father, and then he has his whole realization that he's actually a robot who's been tricked into thinking he's a human, and then he goes off for revenge against Hammond Robotics.
Hyperion.
Maybe it's all tie-in. It's all a tie-in. Fucking 2K games. It's like, we're suing Hammond Robotics, right? So he goes off to track them down. And the last shot of that trailer ended on this picture of this little girl crying over the dead bodies of her parents' bodies. And everyone was like, well, that's who the next person is. And yeah, that's who the next person is. So, and that's exactly where this cinematic trailer starts, introduces her, tells about how she got chucked into a orphan home, orphan family, adopted foster family. That's the wording. I was like, this isn't right, but someone will correct me. She got chucked into foster family, but then she basically has it in her genes because her parents were thieves as well. That's what you find out in the Revenant trailer thing. So she takes up the family habit, and it seems like she pretty much spent most of her life stealing and becoming the best thief in the world, but also at the same time always trying to track down the location of Revenant and get revenge against her parents' killer. And at the end of this trailer, her boyfriend or just friend or someone that she lives with,
I think it's a partner, like the guy in the chair.
Yeah, I would say it is partner simply because I'm like, if this is just a random dude that works with you, it seems really weird to be like, all right, I'm going to bed. Like it's like seem too kind of calm.
Maybe they share an apartment.
Maybe, I don't know.
An area.
Whatever.
Maybe they share a secret hideout together.
Maybe they do.
Whatever. What do you want? Your guy in the chair, like transporting himself to work where he could possibly be followed? No, live here.
Maybe. So at the end of the thing though, she's about to go to bed, and then he's like, oh, I found him. And she's like, who? And then it brings up this giant picture of Revenant, and then of course sets up the storyline to be that she's going to enter the Apex games because she wants to go in Apex games to kill Revenant. That's going to be her way in.
The thing for this that made me think, because I watched this earlier today, was that this kind of gives some narrative questions here, right? Because it's like, okay, so this means there's been a good maybe 20, no, it's like 15 years.
There's been like 20, they do have an exact number somewhere, but I think it's like 20 years.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah, there's been a good 20-year period since the Revenant short to present day where Apex is happening. And so it leaves the question of, okay, is Apex Legend the game that you play in? Is that kind of in its own like hyperbolic chamber of time where it's like just up here kind of floating?
Do you mean like the gameplay compared to the story?
Like no, like is the game happening at a certain period of time within the storyline?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
is it happening outside?
You would have to
of it?
assume the Revenant trailer was 20 years ago.
So that's interesting that there's 20 years of Revenant storyline that people are now like.
Well, Revenant's storyline is, I don't know what he does for that exact 20 years, but his storyline was that at the end of his trailer, he finds out that he's being tricked and he wants revenge against Hammond, and he enters the Apex games to try and find a way to kill the leader of Hammond because they are sponsoring and involved in the Apex games.
So it took 20 years for him to get into the Apex game?
No,
They only just started the Apex.
They only just started the Apex games, yeah. But this is it started a year ago. It started last year when the game released. It hadn't been running before then.
But what I'm saying is he made that decision to chase after the Apex game. Okay, no, now I understand. Cool. Sorry.
It's not like the Apex games has been going for years and years and he's suddenly
No. That's what. Sorry,
It ain't
I
the
thought
Olympics.
for some reason I thought that it was like at the end of the Revenant trailer that he was like, man, now I'm going to go to the Apex games to hunt after the Hammond leader. But really, it took him 20 years, and now he's found his opportunity.
He's found his opportunity to get in because the leader would be like, to get in close is obviously super hard, but he's hoping this is his way in. And also, a lot of the Apex games, the maps they take place on are like protected areas where you can, like, they're owned by Hammond and whatever else. So maybe he's hoping to find like a way to a secret underground lair or whatever, because you can find like Rafe's lab and one of the maps and all these sorts of things. There's lots of like story stuff built into the maps if you care about it, which weirdly over like the last 3 to 4 months I've become super into Apex's lore to the point where I as soon as I get time, I actually think the next game I'm going to go play is Titanfall 2, because a lot of the Hammond stuff and all this other sort of stuff is in Titanfall 2, and I just want to.
It's a great game.
I just want an understanding of the overall lore, because I'm enjoying Apex's story so much that I want to get the full picture, and obviously Titanfall 2 LA to
and
that.
it's where like we similar in like, because with me with Overwatch is a very similar kind of thing where I'm very in love with all things Overwatch and its lore, not to the addiction and gameplay point of view. Ashley, I saw that look there, but more like with the lore and stuff, like how Overwatch uses its animated shorts and they kind of give you the answers to questions that you may not necessarily have had, but were interesting to find the answers to. Like they explain how certain maps became the way they are when you play them. But it's interesting now that I think it should really excite Apex Legends fans who are fans of the lore, that there's now this 20-year period in Apex kind of lore that is kind of more open for people to explore and look through now. That everything doesn't just kind of stay on a similar timeline and get to playing in Apex. Like not all of the characters' backstories are happening at the same time. I think it shows something that you probably didn't know until this point with this reveal.
No, they actually do a lot of cool things with the story. Like the reason you moved from the original map to this map was because Crypto destroyed the satellite thing on the first map. He that was basically keeping all of the monsters from getting inside. Like it was a invisible protective dome around the first map that was keeping the majority of the big creatures that you see in the Titanfall 2 universe from getting in and running amok. And then
the ones that are now on the map.
Now on the map, yeah. But Crypto like breaks this satellite thing open, which you can find on the map. It's bowled over, and then that destroys the dome. And then the people running the games are like, well, I guess we got to go find this other map. So then they move everyone over to this other map, and that's a funny video to watch if you can find it as well, because Octane's literally playing Titanfall 2 inside this ship as they travel from one map to another, and then like you got all these characters in their little rooms doing their exercises. They have so much character in this game if you watch the all the cinematic cutscenes, sort of stuff. Ash, how are you feeling about what do you think of Loba though? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, she seems interesting, like a thief kind of thing. They've got like some data mined information out there if you're interested about what kind of ability she's going to have.
She's going to have some form of teleportation, is what it seems.
Some teleportation, and like it seems like she'll be able to see through walls for loot and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so we'll find out more probably in the next week or so.
I think it's on the 6th our time that they're doing the season 5 stream, I think. So the end of next week. So hopefully we'll be talking about it next week. Full season 5 details.
Also say she is currently in the game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So she'll pop up in the banners in like the character select the home screen.
Cool.
Just the main menu.
Points. Just the main menu. She'll just poke her head behind the banners and that kind of thing and then teleport away.
Yeah.
But yeah. It sounds cool. I hope there's like some kind of in-game thing for Loba if she kills Revenant. Like she's like says something specific, or you get some kind of special XP or something.
Yeah. This is
the
my thing.
XP might be a bit broken.
I'm like, don't let Loba and Revenant should not be allowed on a team together because that's just awkward.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with it, where you're like, with games where they're like, okay, we've set up these factions and people don't like each other, but players can play them together on teams. It's like, yeah, you just kind of have to put it to a side.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to deal with it before because I remember when they added Kha'Zix to League of Legends and they introduced him, and his story was he was Rengar's like sworn arch enemy. And in fact, if Rengar or Kha'Zix killed each other in that game, they actually you would get a special unique buff for killing the other one. But you could play both those characters on the same team. It was like, okay, this is weird, but whatever. Anything else, Ash?
Yeah. Not much else. The Apex Legends has teased a little bit as what's coming in Season 5. Interestingly, they're going to be adding quests. It says, hunt for treasure and answer to the new season quest. Those who complete the journey will be richly awarded. So whether it's like you have to, each legend you get to complete, have to find certain things or something.
It'll be like bounties, right? From Call of Duty, right?
Quests? No, it'll probably just... No. I mean, what's the difference between a quest and like your battle pass normal missions is the key question. You know, like what separates them?
Maybe it'll be more like that Bloodhound thing at the moment where you do the trial thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or like there's special secrets around the map that you have to find.
Possibly.
To unlock certain things. Which, I mean, we'll find out next week, but it could be interesting. Yeah, so looking forward to unlocking another 100 plus levels of Battle Pass again.
Have you maxed out this?
I'm at 105.
Okay, see, and you've got a week to go still, or whatever.
A week, yeah.
Yeah, so you're good. I hit max battle pass of like 2 weeks ago after being like, I wonder if I'll max this battle pass out. My baby's first battle pass max. Oh, yeah. So
Dylan, good on you,
got
mate. Good on you.
$15 worth. Got my 2 flatline skins. Fuck yes. Go ham.
Now I've got enough gold to buy next season. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I do too, or close to it. But most importantly, I've got enough in-game currency that I can buy Loba for myself like 10 times over at this point. So they need to add something else that I can spend that shit on because, for fuck's sake, it's so much.
Bring back Forge. That would be a cool surprise.
What? Zombie Forge comes back?
Forge shows up.
In case people don't know what we're saying, Forge was the originally revealed champion who was going to be added in for Season 4, who they then, in the clip for him being introduced for the game, right at the end, the power cuts in and out, he's being interviewed, and then Revenant comes up and slits his throat, and they're like, yeah, jokes, that's actually a character. So good. What a great moment in gaming history.